Let's go!
I'm Kris Burgos, and I'm the creator-writer on Ragnarok Come, and it was drawn by the amazing J.P. Vilches. Ragnarok Come is the story of a Viking soldier who has been sent to scout a town while it's being decimated by dueling monsters. He's beaten up, he's got no more weapon, his squad has been destroyed, and he's got to make it back out of the town before the rest of his army start firebombing the town with flaming arrows when he stumbles upon a young girl. Does he get out? Does he take her with him? What happens?
Awesome. Hey, everybody. This is Keith Gleason with another episode of Indie Comics Relay coming back to you. It's a Wednesday night, and you know what that means. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Surrounded by Death and Sartana. How's it going, buddy?
Everybody? Yeah, hey, how we doing? It's Wednesday night.
Dude, we're kind of back on schedule a little bit now where we everybody out there watching, when we started this show, we had originally had planned for a bi-weekly kind of schedule where we're going to go every Wednesday, but there's been so many crowdfunding campaigns, so many guests that want to come on the show and talk about their books, talk about indie comics, that we've had to double up some weeks. Like this week, it's anthology week. Tomorrow we got another anthology. We got our friends from Global Comics coming on with their COVID anthology. So tomorrow is going to be really good as well,
Yeah, so it's fun. It's funny. Last time we had like a double week thing. It was both wrestling themed comics.
Yeah, right.
That was pure accident, right? But having two anthology episodes back to back, day by day, I'd say that's less coincidence and more commonalities. Because I'm finding that more often, a lot of people are expanding their work into anthologies, into shorts. I mean, it's becoming kind of like a blue label standard that as an indie creator, you want to not only show that you can do your own book and you can do your own project, but you could also write to a short that goes into an anthology. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing that. I mean, I'm in the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell series of anthologies through Russell at Wannabe Press. I'm in The Great Commandment with Jack Holder. I've got the upcoming Of the Dead, a tribute to George Romero. That's a long time coming, but I got something in there. Anthologies are a big thing, It's something.
It's so funny that too you have so many in anthologies. I've never done one. I've never been in one. It's crazy. I did a book where I had an anthology book, but I wrote all the stories in it, so I don't really consider it an anthology, And
that goes to show that there's no magic bullet when being a creator. I've never run a crowdsource campaign. You've run several successful ones. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is the way we've kind of come through to the industry, and that's a good point because not everybody comes up in this industry the same way, So it's kind of interesting. So, and that's why I always find it fascinating when we talk to our guests to see how they broke in and how, where their origins lie and things like that.
Absolutely.
I know you have a Kickstarter you want to open, do an unboxing tonight.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I definitely want to say hi to everybody in the chat. With us, as always, is Ara. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Ara, always good to see you, my man. Thanks for swinging by the convention in Fall River a few weeks back.
I'm actually, Johnny. I'm gonna be at that show. I'm doing the 19th, the one that the classic
in
car
October?
show or whatever. No, well, I'm gonna do that one too.
Yeah,
that one's
yeah.
I found out. Did you know that one in October is at where they used to have the South Coast Comic Con? Did you ever been to that one at the marina?
Oh,
That's where Joe's gonna have it. It's not gonna be at the flea market. It's gonna be at another location. So we'll talk about that more as it gets closer.
Yeah.
We got my wife in the chat sharing out links. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy, as always.
We got Johnny in the chat. We got Adam Warlock. What's up, bud? Thanks for stopping by, man. We got, oh my God. That's all I'm seeing. There's a bunch of people watching, but not a bunch of people commenting. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And if you feel generous, we would love to have you, jump on over to YouTube and give us a subscribe. We just blew past 500 subscribers, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Comics Relay for the win. All right, Sean.
Yeah,
so without further ado, I'm going to make you a solo here because I want to see what you got.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so I got 2 Kickstarters in this week.
Okay.
One was physically handed to me. One was through the mail. So
I wonder which one it was.
Through the mail.
Okay.
Yeah. The one that was physically handed to me is a premium tier. Like, that was awesome. Like, just seeing that one here. But this one I'm opening up. These Gemini mailers. I've always said I save these Gemini mailers. I'm going to be doing... I'm going to be doing Surrounded by Death in July, so some of these might be going right back out. And let's see, what do I got? Oh, this is The Catch.
Let me see. The Catch. I'm not familiar with that one. It looks good, though. So that's a number 3. Did you get all 3 issues, or do you have 1 and 2 already?
I believe this was the solo one. This one might be one that I've, pledged a while back. I don't even, recall this. So I have to actually go back and see into my stack. I'm sure this is the 3rd one. I'm sure I've got the other 2. And the reason why I got this was it's in my stack somewhere.
Okay, so you're familiar with the property and everything.
Right.
That just goes to show you how generous you are, though, because you are what was it? Kickstarter said you're a master backer. Or was it a mega backer or something?
Super backer.
Super backer. So, I mean, you're constantly supporting the indie comics community. Same here. I try to buy at least one crowdfunding project every paycheck. So
I find that I'm buying them for almost all the guests that are coming on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, isn't that true? We're finding new stuff. We almost got to stop the show so our wallets can survive a little bit,
And not to overshadow The Catch, but man, this one was awesome.
Thanks.
This one was awesome.
Thanks,
Hold
buddy.
on. Let me open this up real quick.
Actually, Adam Warlock had a good question here. What kind of cereal did you get when you opened up your perk?
So I'll show you guys in regards to mine here. But, I mean, look at this. I got all the books.
Oh, man.
The pens. The wax pack there. Everything is here. I got a couple of the mini ash cans. And, when I found out you were doing the cereal box, Keith.
Yeah.
I said, you got to put some real cereal in there.
So I wonder which one I gave you. I have the variety.
Apple Jacks. Yeah.
I hope you like Apple Jacks, do you?
I do. I love them. So, this is perfect.
Because
this is
I hate
premium.
To say it, some people got mini wheats and Raisin Bran, which I hated to do, but
it had to be done.
It had to be done. So
that is how you do a premium Kickstarter.
Thanks,
tier.
Man.
There, man.
I appreciate
it's awesome.
The support. I appreciate the support, bud.
I appreciate you providing fine quality product.
All right.
Now, I don't want to take up too much time.
We have some. Go ahead.
Just want to say this guest tonight, he is a longtime friend. I've known him for about as long as I've been trying to make comics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And if I think back, one of the first conventions I went to was New York Comic Con Special Edition, as a creator, that is.
Okay.
Was Special Edition New York Comic Con. So around the same time, and
I was there, but I didn't know you at that time.
I know. I saw you posted a photo with you, Matt, and Jay Moores.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think was that Special Edition.
That was Special Edition. We were all
you
in
were
one
rolling
booth.
with that crew. I was rolling with this crew.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny how we kind of came together in between. I think I sent a photo to the private chat. I don't know if you can pull it up, Keith, real quick, or if you want me to.
But I just wanted to point this out. Adam Warlock got Raisin Brand. When I
no!
Well, he said he was surprised he got something healthy. Well, I'm glad it was something, healthy.
Good for your digestive tract.
Yeah,
some fiber to push all that stuff through.
So now, is this picture from Special Edition?
This picture is a culmination of me and a group of creators. So you can see me in the far left. You see our
right over
Ari
here
is there.
See it right here, Johnny C. Yep.
Mark Frankel.
Oh, I see
Wayward
Kris
Raven.
right here. There he is.
Kris is right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were Josh Dahl, Jeff Ryder.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of us.
I know all
here.
These people. I know most of these people.
So we all gathered together at a pizza place after New York Special Edition, and this was the culmination of the Creator Aftercon Network, which we kind of helped start and gather.
Oh,
and
wow.
really, this was back in like 2013. So
funny how all that was going on and why we were there, and I didn't know you at that time. It's awesome.
So I really just want to kind of give that precursors that Kris is a longtime friend. I've known him forever, and it was just great to see his creative growth through the process. We should bring him in without further ado.
Before you do that, I just want to say, he seems like a really nice guy backstage, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him. And then also JP is here as well, so we'll bring JP in without further ado. Kris, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey guys, I'm okay. I'm good. It's nice to finally be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. And then, without further ado, let's also bring in your artist, JP. JP, thanks for joining us tonight. How you doing?
Everything fine. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks
for coming.
Joining us.
Thank you for making the time, JP.
We always love when we get the full creative team, together on the show, which is great because I love to see the different perspectives of the creative process as well. So one thing I always start off with on our show is our first question is always, I love the origin stories of creators. I love, I want to know what puts you guys on the path to being with Kris, with you would be a writer, but JP an artist. Was there a comic or a TV show or movie that you read, watched, that was oh man, I got to be part of this industry? Is there something on your radar?
Radioactive
I'll start with
goo.
Radioactive. No, wait, is that the toy? The toy? Wait.
No, I got hit with radioactive.
You got radio. I thought you were on an episode of Double Dare. Remember Double Dare?
Oh my god!
A Nickelodeon accident went wrong. He sued the pants off him. Was able to afford to make a comic.
All of a sudden, Daredevil gets blind in other senses. I
thought about Ninja Turtles. That's
Funny enough, Daredevil, Ninja Turtles, same origin story. We all know this.
Same origin story. Yep.
Definitely. Well, there's sort of isn't Turtles sort of inspired by the Frank Miller Daredevil stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because of Elektra and all that, and all the ninjas and all that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But anyways, I didn't mean to trample on you. So, so once you got hit with the goo, did it make you read a comic or something?
Well, I will tell you, I've been reading comics my whole life. I started off as a shorty. My dad let me read X-Men, and I was a diehard Spider-Man fan. And those early 90s runs on those comics were just, monumental. Late 80s, early 90s. And
I agree.
One of the things I did was I just read them. I was just a fan, and I would talk to my dad, and we would talk about how the stories, were awesome and everything. It's not like I really went in deep on any of that stuff. And then around the time of, your high school going into college, it's like, Kris, what do you want to do? It's like, I don't know. I just had no clue.
Were you like a writer at that point? Like, were you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Get this. I was like a nerd. I was like super nerd when it comes to being a math person, and I loved science and physics and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I had the grades for it, but I was trying to get my ass in like MIT or something. But I had that one bad math teacher that just turned my whole life around, and I was like, all right, I'll end up at art school.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
so you can draw as well?
No. When I say art school, I went to art school for film.
Oh, for film, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny. I think comic people, like, film is kind of hand in hand, because I went through a whole phase, Johnny too, where we wanted to be like filmmakers and stuff, so it's kind of like goes hand in hand in a weird way,
Totally. I've got a lot of friends that are like still in it. They stuck with it and everything, and I couldn't. I got a job in New York City as a martial arts instructor, and I've been doing that for the past 14 years. After spending about 3-4 years as a production assistant, working on different sets, and I was a little camera here and there. I directed a music video or two. But I was able to take what I learned in college and kind of just like, you know what? I don't have the budget for these big films or even a short film, because the budgets that some of these people use, are ridiculous. Like $30,000 for a 10-minute, Batman movie or something. Oh, yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to do that, but I still want to tell my stories. And I took a lot of the IPs that I created like film stuff for, and I just converted it. And I've been spending the last like 6 years or so, 7 years, trying to make my ideas from the film world happen in the comics. And that's how I converted. And after a couple of years of Comic-Con, I was like, maybe I'm done doing this as a fan. Maybe I just want to be a creator. And meeting guys like Johnny and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, these are cool cats.
It's I mean, what I want to do. Anybody could do it. It's like anything. It's a hard work. You know what I mean? Like you just got to dive in. I mean, a lot of people think you can just throw a comic together, and it's like, no, it's almost like making a movie in the way, the process is, it's like, I mean, if you break comics down to the essentials, it's like you're creating a storyboard, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's part of it's kind of goes hand in hand.
I was going to say it's like, where I still, occasionally dip my toe in the film stuff, but when I was trying to take on and be a very proactive filmmaker, I found it increasingly difficult to do stuff with shoestring budgets where, you have to assemble a team on a single day on a calendar map. And it's just so hard to schedule and get, especially for like pennies on the dollar and beer and pizza. It's just so difficult. And then, you go to the flip side where you're a creative individual and you can write a comic strip or a comic book or a graphic novel even. And then you can collaborate with your artist over the internet, on their schedule, on your schedule. It makes it so much easier. It's like when you're coming from the filmmaker perspective to comics, it's almost like somebody's like, letting you come up for air a little bit, know. And I don't know if Kris, if you felt that way,
And yes, and to that, and if we can talk about it also later about Tales Beyond and everything, but that's how I met JP.
Actually, before we go, get into this like crazy, JP, same question. Is there? Yeah, man. I'm actually more curious about you being down in. Was it Mexico? You're from?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Is there
City.
Oh, okay. Is there like a comic or a TV show or movie that got you into the path of drawing?
TV shows, mostly.
Okay.
When I was little, yes, especially the Batman animated series, and
yeah, absolutely.
Chef's Kiss, one of the greatest.
Yeah,
the best, the best.
And my first comic book when I was little, it was a Spider-Man comic book written by I don't remember his initials, but it's the writer from the Craven's Last Hunt.
Oh, okay. It's J.M.
DeMatteis, yes, as
DeMatteis, yeah.
And
yeah, we had him. I had him as a guest at. I run a Comic-Con up here in Massachusetts, a one-day show. I had him as a guest like 2 years ago. Such a nice guy. Put up with a lot of crap going on at the show, but like he was a sweetheart, and I hugged him at the end and thanked him profusely for coming to the show. He's one of my favorite writers too.
Yeah, one of the best Spider-Man writers next to Straczynski.
Oh, big time! Yes, like, and he doesn't get enough credit for his Spider-Man stuff. The stuff he was doing with Sal Buscema.
Oh yeah,
the late '80s. Oh my God, so good.
And
so good.
And that comic book that I had was drawn by Sal Buscema.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. I loved his stuff. It's very simple but well drawn, and
of course,
really good.
When I was little, I didn't realize that, but when I grew up, I preferred the Sal Buscema artwork than, for example, what made me want to draw comic books, or when I wanted to become a comic book artist, was, if I'm not in a mistake, it was when the first Spider-Man movie came up, the Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah,
I discovered the artwork, the comic books of Peter Parker Spider-Man, drawn by a Mexican artist that you know him. It's maybe the most popular Mexican artist working nowadays. It's his name is Humberto Ramos.
Yep.
Yes.
Humberto's amazing.
I love Humberto.
He also had that series? What was his creator-owned series that he did?
Middle West?
Battle Chase? No, that's Joe Madeira.
Crimson.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, with the vampires. That was great.
Yeah, of course. And one of his colleagues in that project, I used to work with him in his design studio. His name is Oscar Pinto.
Okay.
Oscar, and when I discovered Humberto's artwork in the Peter Parker Spider-Man, it totally blew my mind, and I wanted to do that as a profession. But I didn't know about the comic book or the comic artist community around Mexico, if that makes sense.
Oh, cool.
But I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. I don't remember, but I didn't know anything. I just had in mind, I want to do that too. I want to draw Spider-Man like Humberto Ramos.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it is awesome.
I mean, he's a great artist. And he blends like the anime style with like with the American style so really well. Like I love seeing his artwork on stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It's great to hear that culturally that's how you got kind of tied into it. It's like somebody of your nationality was doing the thing that you kind of love to do or you want to do, and that kind of helped rope you in. I love hearing that.
Yeah, of course. I think I think no one else inspired me to become a comic book artist than none other than Humberto Ramos. I used to draw, but I didn't know it was something that I could do as a living, if that makes sense.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's like through him that clicked in your head.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Really good.
Now,
unfortunately, we got to make some money at some point, right?
Right, exactly. Now, how did you guys end up meeting now?
What's that?
Creatively. How'd you guys end up meeting now?
Yeah. Actually, that would be I would like to know that as well.
Well, one of the things that I do is, well, at the conventions at New York Comic Con, I met Buddy Scalera. All right.
Okay.
And Buddy runs the comic book school. And during the pandemic, the start of the pandemic, I guess around April was when we really got hit, I guess, when the world kind of shut down in America. And about a month in or so, he reaches out to me on Twitter and says, "Hey, we're doing an anthology. Why don't you, check out the website and join in?" So I did, and I had not done anything in anthologies or any short stories like that, one shots or anything. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, this sounds cool. I've got to do an 8-page story. I can write. I got to find myself an illustrator. And going to what you were talking about, Johnny, when it comes to film budgets and everything, and having to get together everybody that you need, like on set and on site and everything, it's like really hard. But what's so amazing about the world we got today is I was able to go on Facebook and I looked at like a comic creators group and I just said, "Hey guys, who would like to, do some work?" And JP was there. He saw his work. He reached out to me and everything. And yeah, from there, it just turned into, well, where are you located in Mexico? It's like, all right, cool. We'll do this all the internet. And it worked. That's pretty much how we hooked up and got together. And yeah,
So you guys, you kind of just took a shot, like, looking for somebody. That's how I got my artist as well. I just, went around and then I looked at different portfolios, and that's how I got Ian, my artist for Mighty Mascots. He's like in Indonesia. So we work. Okay. I've never talked to him on the phone. We work over the phone, or we work over the internet all the time, so.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's a common thing, and then through the process, you guys kind of become friends, which is awesome,
Now, Kris, were you in both of the anthologies for the comic book school, or?
Well, last year that was our first anthology, or that was the first anthology.
Right.
And I actually had 2 stories in the anthology. Ragnarok Come is what I did with JP, which, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's got a really cool old school feel. JP's got some amazing ink work. I love his inks. I love the way he draws and everything.
The thick lines on the hand here and stuff. I love that.
One thing I want to mention about JP's work after reading this today is that this reminds me a lot, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm off base saying this, but this reminds me of Darwin Cook.
It's got that simplicity of Darwin Cook. It's got that what's the guy that designed Batman? Bruce Timm. It's got that Bruce Timm kind of quality to it.
Somewhere in between the two, yeah. When you say that Batman the Animated Series was a inspiration for you, JP, it shows in your work. And it also kind of reminds me of some of the other artists that I love so much.
Reminds me a little bit of Michael Avon Oeming too, who worked on Powers with Brian Bendis.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Reminds me a little bit of that.
All those artists, sorry to interrupt, all those artists you mentioned, they're connected with they're connected to one artist's artwork that they're basically inspired in that artist's artwork. My main artist, or at least what I wanted to do, is I became a very big fan of Alex Toth.
Oh yeah.
Both
one of the greatest ever. I mean, Space Ghost. I mean, he designed all those Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure characters. So good. I mean, Space Ghost. Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah, all those artists, Darwin Cook, Michael Oeming, all those artists are inspired by Todd's artwork. So, but my main inspiration in the artwork or the style of the artwork it's mainly inspired in Alex Toth.
Awesome. Yeah, I love this splash page you guys did too. Really cool.
So awesome.
conveys the action really well. And everybody out there, you could go download this for free at the Comic Book School, which I think was it comicbookschool.com? That you can get this.
I believe so.
Yep. Keith, go back real quick.
To this one
thing I noticed about this page, right? It's double page spread, right? I've seen where, you don't have your kind of like traditional flow of lettering, and those arrows, I've seen those not work more often than actually working, and you guys did it, and it works so well.
Yeah, it's got a nice flow to it. It's like a nice flow,
kinda, I love it. You guys did such a great job with this piece.
Yeah, it came out really
I'm
good.
glad to hear that, because I'm not a letterer, and when I did it, I was like, I don't know, but thank you.
Yeah, no, you nailed it in that regard.
Kris, that's stuff that you'll just get, you'll get the lettering comes with the more projects you do,
Right.
But for a first time, this looks great.
Yeah. This is my first thing lettering. Yeah, and like I was saying, I had a second story in the anthology. I did a story called Teddy's, and I did it with Mike Ponce.
Give me some artwork. I'll bring that up as well.
Now, Teddy's, I recall, because for what I remember, Kris, you were working on Teddy's for a really long time. I think it was like maybe 2014, 2015, maybe. Like you were first told me about it.
Yeah, it was 2015, and I actually had the first chapter done by Jim Webb of Heavy Metal, and yeah, he did the first 8 pages for me, and then I kind of like sat on it. I didn't really do anything with it, and then with the anthology, somebody hopped in late. This guy Mike Ponce, and he hopped in late and was like, "Is anybody willing to work with me? I know we're starting the process late and everything, but I'd like a writer." And I was like, all right, I'll give you a second chapter of one of my stories. And so, yeah, that's how Teddy's chapter 2 got finished. And and the anthology was awesome. The Comic Book School anthology it's called Creator Connections Panel 1. And it did win a Best of Anthology Award for 2020 by the Independent Creator Awards.
Awesome.
And
that's great. Dude.
Yeah. Within
we had them on,
Keith.
Awards, I don't know if you remember.
What's that?
We had the anthology. We had them on for the
I remember that
before.
In January. We had Buddy
and all those guys.
Yeah. So and
Buddy, it came on like right after Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, it was
January.
Buddy,
it was actually a really
Ariel
good show.
Lumpkin. Yeah, Buddy, Ariel Lumpkin, Ari, and somebody else.
Yeah,
Aaron,
it was like 4 or 5. Aaron, Aaron,
Aaron, exactly.
Yeah, and they're Ari and D. Alley were like killer editors. They slaved over that anthology, and they did a really solid job of it. I can't thank them enough. And so I mean, we got a best anthology of the year out of it. And then on top of that, JP and my stories got Ragnarok Come got best short or best comic one shot.
That's awesome.
That's right.
So awesome.
That's
Congrats
a big deal.
on that one, guys.
It is because
I
didn't read everything in that anthology when they sent it, but I looked through everything, and there was a lot of good stuff in there. So to win over everybody, that's quite an
huge
accomplishment. That's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, did I understand correctly, Kris, that you stepped up and you're an editor for the next one now? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm the project manager,
right?
Project manager. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what it was.
So that means
project manager.
So let me ask you that. So the project manager, that means you're going to be coordinating all the art teams and the creative teams in this.
Yeah,
one,
that's
right?
a lot of work.
I'm doing what I can. Coordinating the schedules and making sure people are trying to be as close to deadlines as they're because it's an anthology that like pretty much anyone can join. It's not like you have to submit something and get accepted to it. It's just people that are willing to do the work and willing to do it in a timely manner. And as long as you can stick with those base ground rules, you're going to get published, and it's free publication, and it's awesome. Buddy's really made a good community out of the Comic Book School over there, and I can't thank them enough for helping out with those 2 stories I got and everything.
Yeah, no, I love what he's doing over there. I think that's great, especially for creators just starting out. You should, as a creator, you shouldn't start out doing like your 100-page epic, You should start with anthology. You should learn how to write, in smaller chunks. Like be able to tell a whole story in 8 pages is a skill in itself, I think.
It really is.
And
definitely.
So I love what Buddy's doing. I love that he gives it away for free. Like, I mean, I think that's amazing.
Yeah. And everything he gives away for free. It's awesome that he's getting creators out there. He's accepting creators, and then he's just taking them, just sending them out there. It's like, everyone, this is an awesome work. I mean, it was a 144-page anthology last year.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
He just gave it away, and it's like, that's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And so this year, go.
No, I was just gonna make a joke, but go ahead. I said you're a better project manager than me. I'd be like, this is the date. It's either in or it's not.
Oh.
I'd be like, if you don't have it in by this date, forget it. You got to go to next year.
Yeah,
that's how I would be. But
it's I would say hair raising or hair pulling or whatever, but you can see it doesn't work like that for me.
Same here, man.
It's definitely nerve-wracking and everything. But the people that are dedicated to it, you can tell something special is going to come out of this next year as well.
Awesome.
They're looking like some great stories, some great teams coming up in this year. I've got another 2 stories this year as well. One of which is going to be a comic. However, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to make it on the deadlines. Unfortunately, my artist is from the Philippines, and his 6-month-old caught COVID. And so 6-month-old baby, apparently he ran around the entire city trying to find a hospital that had a pediatrician at like some stupid time in the morning, and no ER or no pediatrician on call. So he got hit with a nightmare scenario. Luckily the baby is doing great. Hannah's doing awesome. All right, Roy, hope you can see this, Roy. I'm glad she's doing great. It was a big setback. I'm not trying to say get your work in, because that'd be really dick for me to do. But yeah, if it doesn't come in, it doesn't come in. Fortunately enough for me, I do have a piece of flash fiction in the anthology this time around, and I'm working with another artist from Argentina, and he's already completed his artwork.
Are there any plans for you and JP to work together again?
I've spoken to JP, and he said he's up to doing another chapter of Ragnarok. And
cool.
I do want to.
I need more Ragnarok guys. You gotta write more. You gotta do some more for me. Yeah, I love it.
Wide open for more. Yeah. So I think I would love to see that.
So one thing I was
going to
universe
to build on there,
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I was going to ask, you kind of already touched upon it a little bit, Kris, but I was going to kind of address it to JP, is that, COVID kind of hit creators differently both ways. Keith thrived during the COVID period. Me, I retreated and drank a bunch.
Yeah.
And so, JP, how was COVID for you as a creator? Did you experience any challenges? Were you more productive?
It's curious that you mentioned it. That you mentioned that you mentioned COVID, because if it wasn't because of the lockdown, things changed for me, but for good. Because before the lockdown, my daily living was really complex. Okay. So I think the lockdown made everybody leave their comfort zone and try to do some other stuff that they didn't expect they had to do. But for me, it changed everything, but in a positive way, because it made me become much more productive.
Yep, same. And actually, this show was born out of COVID. I was talking to Johnny like 3 months before we actually did our first broadcast, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about doing this indie comics show," and we were talking it out. And then we just turned the camera on and started, and then it's been rolling right along for a whole year now. So it's been crazy ride. So we met so many different creators in the last year. It's like insane, It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How about you, for you, Kris, specifically? Did COVID have any? I mean, aside from like some complications with an artist, did you have any personal things with COVID?
Oh yeah.
Can you share a little bit of that with us?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's COVID. It sounds like the ultimate troll, what I'm gonna say, but like, my life changed for the absolute best within that like initial first 8 months. Like I got so many things done. It's like JP said. I got very productive. I started up Tales Beyond, my own publishing company.
Awesome.
Yeah. I got married.
Awesome.
Well, that's right. Congratulations, man.
Hey, congrats, man.
I don't think I've seen you since then. So
No. And Andrea is awesome, and she's been like my rock, as well as the person that is willing to push me off a cliff. Like, what am I gonna do? You should write more. Really? It's like, yes, do it. And she will push.
That's important. My wife, same thing. She's very supportive. Hell, she's in the chat sharing links right now, So I mean,
right. Yeah, that support system.
It's awesome, So
yeah. So Andrea does she does a lot of the social media for Tales Beyond, and I'm trying to show her the business aspect of it and everything, and I'm trying to make sure that the company feels like it's hers as well, because it's both of ours, and it's been amazing so far. And I've released in the past, I don't know, since I started it a year ago, I've released Run, I've released Ragnarok Come, Teddy's. I've got 2 other stories I'm doing.
Awesome, dude.
And yeah, those Teddy stories also I just released in print a month ago.
Yeah, let me share some of those images you just sent.
Yeah. Now, since you breached the topic, I was going to say, like, what kind of inspired you to just start up your own publication in that regard?
Any creator will tell you, if you're relatively unknown, it's hard to just solicit your work, especially as a writer. It's like, what can I do to get this company to hire me? As a writer, you have to have a completed project. That's the thing I'm finding.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't just send somebody a comic book script and say, look what I can write. It's like, no, they want to see the whole process.
Going that route is a hard road. But you're right. I mean, you got to be able to complete projects. I've always heard the best way to break into comics is to make comics.
Right. And definitely. And that's what I decided to do. And she said, why don't you just make your own comic and then release it on your own? And I was like, okay, let's try it out. And then we looked into, we wanted to make sure it was just as professional as possible, because back when I met you years ago, back at the New York Comic Con, Johnny, it was like, this is something I want to do. But over the past like 6-7 years now, I think maybe 8, it's truly become a passion. Like, I really love doing this. I want to do this for the rest of my life, and I want to tell stories. I want to collaborate with artists. It's really fun. And the best way I saw is setting up for my own future was to start up my own little label. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's the
way to do it.
Tales Beyond is like that.
Now, is it exclusively to your work, or are you bringing on other clients or books or?
For now, it is going to be my own work. As far as the writing goes, we do have plans in the future, to possibly, team up with other writers and have other people's books, especially to become like a kind of like a distribution kind of deal. Because Tales, one of the things that we have ideas for is we actually want to take it and become like a full like pop culture media brand. Tales Beyond is not just about, the genre comics of horror, adventure, that kind of stuff. We also want to go into, having full media services eventually one day, and, spreading our wings into other realms like Cthulhu, that kind of stuff. I love all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I just want to be like a pop culture, rah bandwagon for.
Hey, Teddy's
for
needs to go to like Hulu as a movie or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that looks great. I love the concept. It's like is it like a demonic teddy bear or something like that? I was looking at it earlier. What's that?
No, it's actually a very simple premise.
Okay.
Teddy bears are the guardians of children from the creatures that live in the nightmare world under the beds. And one of the teddy bears gets kidnapped, and so another bear is reluctantly forced into going after that bear. And the boy who owns the bears, he kind of sneaks along and follows along for the journey.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Very interesting concept.
So I was saying it screams being a movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's that's actually one of my ideas that I did have initially for like television actually, and I mean the entire. I think I have a full season fully planned out if it were to go to television, and I know that someone looked at it. I just can't remember where. I don't think it was Atlas Entertainment, but someone does have it. I have to look into that, but yeah, it's a killer concept in my opinion. It's my own. But,
no, I agree. I like it a lot. It's something you can relate to. Every kid's had that kind of thing, growing up.
And that's what it's
being
about.
Scared under your bed or the monster in your closet kind of thing, So
and also like friendship and like things like that, and it's great.
Imaginary
concept,
friends
great
and all that.
All that stuff.
The whole concept is revolving and evolving around the concept of like, the child has his own nightmares. What goes on in a child's head? You got the monsters and the woo boogie boogie and all that kind of stuff. But then you got the bear who's got these very adult issues. Who's like, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be a protector. Why are you putting me in this position? And so they're having to battle their own, inner struggles. And it's a really fascinating story, I think. And I do hope that it does pick up some steam. It's been available online for both print and digital for about a month now. Haven't seen a lot of sales. However, once the cons
takes a while.
Once cons start coming back, I do plan on. Like I just applied for my first table at New York Comic Con in October.
Nice.
And
good
so
luck.
I'm
That's
hoping
a tough show to get into.
Oh, I know.
Don't be disappointed. Don't be.
No, yeah, I'm never going to be disappointed. I do know that setting up tables and being in people's face is something I'm going to have to do that I haven't had the opportunity and the ability to do yet because of COVID. So and as soon as we got our boxes of printed issues. My wife was just like, all right, I'm going to the corner. She was ready to set up a table. So,
Harry said that if it's a live action show, he's short enough to fit in the bear costume. So you may want to consider
it is
that.
Live action. It was supposed to be live action, so I'll definitely.
If that's the case, we might have to go to like Cinemax with it or something. It might not be as user friendly.
If I could pay you a compliment, you have such a good personality that I think you'll do really well at a convention. You're very, you're very nice, approachable. People, you love to talk about your book. So yeah, I think you're gonna do well at shows when you start doing them.
Absolutely.
That's why me and Johnny works well together. We're both, is that positive attitude when you go to a show that people want to see. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Rather than the person sitting behind the booth on their phone,
or they're face down, what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
JP, I just wanted to ask you real quick, what does the future hold for you in terms of your creative endeavors?
Creative endeavors? Do you mean
do you have any new books coming out?
Any new projects in the works that you can tease us with, or anything that you like to do creatively that you might be working on in the near future?
right now I'm working with a client that is from Tampa. He is part Cuban, part American. He had an idea of a humoristic character called Super Sugar, and
Super Sugar.
Super Sugar, yeah. And he wanted me to draw like a strip, like a comic strip. So he's very inspired in the 80s cartoon. So I'm trying to emulate some very cartoony style from the 80s. I'm trying to because to be honest, when I used to draw way different from how I draw now, because I love too many artists, but those artists that I love, my artwork didn't you couldn't recognize any of those artist styles. So an artist called Oscar Basaldua, that is a Mexican artist, told me try to copy your favorite artist. But I always thought that copying wasn't really creative. So I thought that I did that experiment. I did that experiment with my favorite artists' styles, and to be honest, it was very difficult, because the art style I use right now, it took me like a year to
develop.
Yeah, that's correct, to develop.
No, that's good. I mean, well, I've heard that too about you emulate your heroes, and then try to find your own style in between somewhere,
Yeah.
Like
when
I
you
see
get
a
those
lot of
guys
artists
that look like
same.
Magnola, or like where JP looks like Darwin a little bit,
Yeah, of course, like Darwin or Michael or I wanted to be like Todd, but I don't want to be like a copy of. Because there are artists out there that can do it way better than me. For example, for example, the best the top air out there is David Mazzucchelli from the Batman Year One.
Yeah,
for example,
very good.
Another excellent artist that I can that comes to my mind right now is, for example, Chris Sapney.
Yeah, he's good.
May he rest in peace. John Paul Leon was very influenced by Toth. But I didn't want to be a copy of, because I don't want to be like for example, I can't be a copy, an exact copy of Alex.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to. Well, because you don't want to be a clone. Because
a clone.
Yeah. Because you won't get remembered. The person you're copying is the one that gets all the praise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like when people think of Todd McFarlane, I mean, how many years did it take, like, Greg Capullo to kind of get out of his shadow?
I was just gonna say, when I think of Todd McFarlane, I think of Greg Capullo.
Yeah, right. But how many years though it took Greg Capullo to kind of separate himself from Spawn? And
now, of course,
probably when he did Batman, and then
of course,
Batman. His Batman run is what did it.
Yeah, now he's kind of like considered his own person now, but for years you just thought, oh, it's Todd McFarlane's clone.
Yes, of course.
But definitely true. So that's good. I'm glad that you got some stuff going on. I mean, I look forward to you guys working again. would that be for your own comic, Kris? Would you publish that under your own banner or in another anthology?
No, I do plan on having it published for Tales.
Gotcha. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's something I've been definitely chomping at the bit for. I've got to make sure that I've got not too many plates spinning. Like now, I've got a couple of plates, and I'm just like, right now, let me get through this project, and then
start
when I'm done with all this stuff. Yeah.
Are you a big fan of like Viking Norse mythology? Like, are you inspired by that? Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's some of the
Definitely.
things that you used as like an inspiration for that?
Well, you can that show on History Channel, I believe it was.
The Vikings, right? Yeah. I've
Absolutely
never seen it,
show.
but I hear great things. I've heard great things.
Yeah.
Great show.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a killer show. I actually
one of these days.
The reference photos I sent JP is like, okay, copy that. And yeah.
Are you a fan of what was that movie? Was it 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas? Wasn't that like a big Viking movie? I know a lot of people really like that one as well.
You know what? I haven't seen that in so long. I forget what kind of movie that is.
Yeah.
Valhalla
I remember
Rising,
at the time it was kind of a mess, but like people look upon it fondly now,
Yep.
Right. But yeah,
Pathfinder,
Vikings.
Pathfinder,
awesome.
yeah.
And then so was let me tell you, I'm doing a reading of all of Marvel. I've got the app or whatever, and I've been burning through the years. I started in like 98, and now I'm caught up to 2017 right now, and I cannot get enough of Jason Aaron's run on Thor.
Okay.
Oh
yeah. Oh my God.
The God Butcher, right?
The God Butcher story was amazing. Everything, like Unworthy Thor, all of it, like everything that I'm reading, like Lady
Jason
Thor,
Aaron's
Jane
great.
Thor.
Yeah.
So I cannot get enough. I'm like, let me read more Thor. It's written by Jason Aaron. I'm going to read it now because
you ever read Jason Aaron's? You ever read his Ghost Rider run?
No, I did not.
You should read
know
that.
He did
awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
It was probably about 30 issues or so. But it was fantastic. He introduced so many weird Ghost Riders, and he made it like there's a Ghost Rider for like every culture, and it was really good stuff. If you like him as a writer, definitely check that out.
Yeah,
definitely.
You were going to say something, JP?
I noticed that Kris was a very big fan of the Norse mythology because when one of the few video calls we had to discuss the development of the Ragnarok story, he had a very big Thor versus Hercules Jack Kirby cover behind him. So I thought, you made my day, man. You made my day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just what I was gonna take you to. Let me see.
Oh yeah, what do you got? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirby, man.
Awesome.
King Kirby, dude.
That's an old issue that my dad actually had. That's the scan of it blown up. And it's one of my absolute favorite covers. It's like, Kirby is at his finest.
Yes, I agree. And like Hercules gets a bad rap. He's a really good character in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
I especially like that the most recent run that they did with I'm blanking on the writer's name, but it was almost like Hercules kind of coming back, trying to gain his status again. Well, he was kind of considered like a joke, and he was kind of fighting like these new gods that were like kind of like made from technology and all this stuff. It was kind of really
it
reminded me of American Gods a little bit, like what's that? I forget the writer, but it was. Oh, were you? Yeah, it's great. It's like it ended too quickly. It was awesome, but but good stuff. Yeah, I always like seeing where the influence comes from as well. With you guys. So I was looking at. Let me bring up your website as well. Like I wanted to show people this because we're getting close to the hour mark here. So I just wanted to make sure we touch upon. So this is your website under your imprint, Tales Beyond. And this is stuff that you guys have in the works, right? You have Ragnarok
that issue. Out. That issue is actually going to be the issue that's out in the anthology, but it's also going to be beefed up with some enhanced features and everything.
Oh, okay. Nice. So this isn't a brand new number one. It's more like a re-release of what you did.
Yeah, okay. it's a re-release, but there is going to be an extra story or two. I am going to be doing some prose fiction. So there's going to be some other short stories within that because, you can't sell just an 8-page comic. Plus it's going to have all of JP's designs and everything. So we're going to see. Let me tell you, JP's artwork is gorgeous in black and white. It's absolutely gorgeous in black and white, and I love seeing it. And one of the things actually we're going to do in the house is we are going to take an image and basically blow it up in black and white and frame it. I don't know, it's not on the website anywhere, but there's this creepy image of one of the monsters like hunched over, and it's like kind of like a side profile shot or whatnot, and it's just absolutely chilling. And I can't give JP enough credit when it comes to his monsters because that's not his forte. He told me, he's like, never done monsters before. So for him to pull out these monsters,
but he nailed it though. Yeah, no, it looks good.
Yeah, totally nailed it.
Really good stuff. And then what's The Corrupted? Is this another book that you're working on?
Yeah, that's actually that's going to have a short story in the anthology for the round 2.
Okay.
That story is awesome. It's a very long-winded story, and it's something that I'm hoping to basically try to get together as like a full graphic novel eventually. The artist I'm using is this guy Roy. He's from the Philippines. He's really solid artwork.
Just this really image alone is amazing.
Yeah,
awesome. And some like he's got a spread that he did that's incredible. The layout is awesome. His first 2 pages of the comic just had my jaw just hit the floor. Wow. So he's gonna be really awesome. And there's like the story that's in the comic that's in the anthology is gonna be really simple. It's just 2 assassins at a bar are debating whether or not to kill a guy that's sitting at the bar.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is.
I like that.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it's because he's an archaeologist. The church has just hired him to take over a dig in the middle of the desert. And the assassins are part of a secret sect that don't want that secret in the desert to be dug up.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. So
like
that's what this is about.
Exorcist, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I like that. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's the name of this? Pazoo or something? Pazoo? I forget.
Yeah, Pazuzu or whatever.
Pazuzu. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's it. Pazuzu.
I love it.
Awesome. Yeah. And then, of course, Wizards. What is this one? Is this like a fantasy?
This one is awesome. It's a story about spy organizations that are.
Oh, okay.
Spy organizations fighting over magical masks.
Oh, neat.
And the magical masks basically imbue the wearer with some form of, power or extra ability. And they're trying to, search the globe and collect all the masks that they can. There's a good organization that's trying to keep them out of everybody's hands. There's an evil organization, not as nice. They're trying to use it for more nefarious means. But yeah, that artist, he's also out of Mexico. He's a first-time artist, but his stuff is really nice.
Yeah, he's solid.
And sounds a lot like this, really, and I love this.
Mask.
Okay. Mask. Yeah.
It sounds like this, and I love this.
There we go.
Bring it up. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mask. Okay. I love it. That's awesome.
But this one, Wizards is aimed more at your like older Avatar crowd, like the teens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it set in the modern time, or is it like a fantasy like period piece?
It's set in modern time. The masks are from ancient times.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's in the first issue there's this really killer artwork that I'm seeing right now where like one of the masks that this character is wearing is like a 1920s firefighter's mask. And when the wearer puts it on, it's got like, you know, the breathing apparatus and everything, and it's got the giant old school fire hat and all.
Yeah,
and
love it.
Yeah, when he throws on the mask, he like hulks out as this like giant, massive 1920s firefighter with a flaming axe.
Yeah,
it's absolutely gorgeous stuff. It's so cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So these are all like
gonna be really
full-length comic books you have coming in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're getting over a little bit an hour now, so like we'll start to wrap up here. Let me just see if there's any comments from the audience.
Yeah, any last minute comments from the chat?
Harry said, "What about the version of the Thor and the Hulk Returns TV movie?" I must have been when we were talking about Norse. Yeah. When you think about Vikings, you avoid that one like the plague.
Yes.
I mean, I love that old Hulk show, but that was not Thor.
I would rather take Vinny D'Onofrio's Thor from Adventures in Babysitting over the Hulk Returns.
Oh my God.
Exactly. But anyways, so let's start wrapping up with some plugs. So JP,
JP.
Is there a place people can follow you or follow your artwork? Is there? Are you on Instagram?
Yes, of course. Mainly, I'm active in Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And
can I just search your name on Instagram? Is that how we find you?
My Facebook page is JP Vilchis, artist.
Okay.
And my Instagram is it's at JP Vilchis it's dash I think. Artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can find me like that on Instagram.
Okay.
And that's basically my main. I don't normally open the Facebook to see the news feed, but I always check the fan page and the Instagram. The Instagram account. You can find me there.
Yeah, you share your artwork there and everything.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So if you want to check out JP's artwork, I mean, inspired by Toth, inspired by Humberto Ramos. I mean, can't go wrong with that.
I'm going to add to that because JP has a killer website. It's just, I think it was ArtStation.
There is.
If you want to see some of his artwork, he does some amazing luchadors. And
what is it? ArtStation?
Yeah, it's art. Yeah, his ArtStation account is gorgeous. He's got some really nice pieces on that as well.
Ray Phoenix is the lucha god.
Ray Phoenix,
lucha god.
All right, so ArtStation and look for JP Vilchis. Is that how you say it? Vilchis.
Okay. Yes.
Perfect. How about you, Kris? I know we got the Tales Beyond website. I have that in the notes for the episode. So if people want to go and check out your comics there, plus you have some free previews there too, don't you?
Yeah,
of your work.
Just a couple of panels here and there of my different comics, Runt, Teddy's, Ragnarok.com, and all that. You can go to talesbeyond.com. Instagram is Tales Beyond. Facebook, you can find us on Tales Beyond as well. Twitter, I'm the worst. As a writer, I feel like I failed with the social media thing because apparently Twitter's for writers. And I'm trying to get Twitter up and running for Tales Beyond. It takes forever. Tales Beyond. Oh, it's rough. So that's
well, you know what that means? That means you're just busy working on writing, which is probably what you should be doing,
Right.
It's like what you know, like I work on my Twitter, like my Facebook falls. You know what I mean? I pay attention on Facebook, my Twitter falls.
Well, I think
it's so hard to juggle everything. You know?
Well, I never thought I'd be that guy that was like, Facebook is garbage, and I'm actually getting to the point where I'm thinking of dumping my Facebook because it's just so like not helpful with like promoting or anything without paying for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You used to be able to share stuff, and now they block you everywhere. So it's like, I don't know if it's worth it. But anyways, enough about my Facebook.
It's social media people. I give you props. That's me giving you guys props right now because you have jobs that like it's just one of those things. A lot of props because that is effort and a lot of work. And like I said, Live Tales Beyond is the Twitter account. If you don't want to just follow me personally, it's Kris.Burgos on Instagram. And on Twitter, it's JiggyKB. And that's pretty much all of my like video game accounts as well. If you ever want to game with me on a PS4 or Xbox or anything, so
awesome.
Yeah.
And I put all of that in the description of the video. I think I shared all your stuff there. If I have a minute, I'll go back and I'll add JP's links as well into it. Just definitely follow these guys. Go to comic book school as well and download the anthology so you can read Ragnarok Come. It's 8 pages by these two guys. And it's free. I mean, you're not going to lose anything. Check it out. And there's all kinds of great stories in there by creators. And we had those guys on earlier this year. So check out that episode on the Indie Comics Relay channel, Johnny, how about you, buddy? How's the Kickstarter coming along?
So I'm slowly working on the Kickstarter for Surrounded by Death.
Are you still on target for July?
July is still the target. I still have my daily I'm a failure. This is going to fail. Creator thoughts in the back of my head, but I just have to plow forward without, ignoring those and just keep going forward ahead with the faith that I'm going to hit and it's going to happen. But again, enough about my shit. I just want to thank Kris and JP. Thank you so much for coming on, for taking the time to share your work with us. And Kris and JP, I hope I see you guys in these con circles in the near future now that things are opening back up again.
Yeah, same. Okay. Now that I know you guys, because I go to New York. I got a booth there usually every year. So if you're ever in New York, stop by. Love to shake your hand, and talk to you. Sure. And
thank
for
you
me,
guys so much for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime you guys have something new and you want to come on, if you have a crowdfunder you want to promote, definitely hit us up.
Come on back.
Nothing new on my front, just filling the campaign. I'm down to about 250 orders left to fulfill.
I was going to ask, how do I get a cereal box? I want a cereal box.
Well, I'll probably have them when I do a convention, because I'm going to have some left over.
Keith, I smudged the signature.
Oh, did you? Oh, no.
Is it still worth something?
Yeah, definitely. That'll be considered like one of the mistakes or something,
Yeah, it's a rare variant.
Rare variant. And so, yeah, I'm moving along with that. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter at Reckless Gleason. You can go to my website, recklesssidekick.com. All the usual places. Just look for my name or Mighty Mascots. You'll find me there. And I just want to reiterate what Johnny said. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always awesome to talk to two up-and-coming creators, and always nice to see new work, So we definitely love checking that out. And then for all the viewers out there, thanks for joining us in the chat. Tomorrow we'll be back with another episode. We're going to be talking to Global Comics tomorrow about their COVID anthology. Eric Tapper, and I think he's bringing
Chris
on Chris Carter and a couple other people, right, are coming on.
Yep, a couple of creators that worked on their project.
So we know those guys were productive during COVID because they have an anthology, So
for sure.
It'd be nice to talk to them about that whole thing and and see where we're going from there. But Any last words before we end this episode of Indie Comics Relay? Kris?
Check out Ragnarok Come. Check out Kris Burgos.
Yeah.
Check out Tales Beyond. Check out JP's work. Do all that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We'll
Thank you,
me
guys.
and Johnny will be. Yeah, you're welcome. Me and Johnny will be back tomorrow night. Come back and join us same time, 9 p.m. Until then, talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Take care.